Project Hope was initially started by an international volunteer and a local volunteer. This was during the height of the Intifada, and the height of all the invasions of Nablus and all the refugee camps. And there were lots of internationals coming here to do things like riding in ambulances, providing basic first aid and things like that, because the Palestinians themselves were cut off by the checkpoints. But at that time, a number of internationals felt like, well, this was a good project, a good way of supporting Palestinians. There needed to be something that was not just emergency relief, that was also something more engaged in the community, more long-term.
It's a form of solidarity that's not just going out and getting tear gassed, you know, at a demonstration. You really feel like you have like a medium-term commitment to engaging with people and to forming relationships with people.
Now we're one of the biggest volunteer organizations in the West Bank. And we work with over 40 local community centers here in the northern West Bank, which has been traditionally kind of marginalized in the West Bank. So we work in villages that are cut off by checkpoints, that are under frequent attack by settlers. We try to reach the communities that are marginalized the most.
The main focus right now is to work with women and children, especially to teach languages, computer literacy, artistic activities. Everything that could help in the psychological well-being of children and adults alike.
I was interested in volunteering in Palestine because I feel like Palestine is one of the most neglected regions internationally. I feel like it's almost like their suffering is a secret, you know. It's not out there, it's not readily available in the media in most other countries, and I feel like it's very important to get the word out there and to make a difference to people here and let them know that there are internationals that care.
I started volunteers when I was a little kid, you know, with groups talking about environment, protect it and this stuff. And, you know, I find it enjoyable, useful, and also you get some appreciation to yourself. So I continued until then.
I've been active in Palestinian solidarity work for about 2 or 3 years. But I was in school, so I was doing what I could from my own country, from Canada. But I graduated and I decided that it was time to go to Palestine and see if I could do something here.
Really, it was just because it fitted all of the skills that I already had, and I just thought, that's great, this is giving me an opportunity to actually use some of those skills in a way that really benefits people.
You know, it makes you feel like there's someone out there supporting you, or, you know, even know about you. I know that most of the world don't know the word Palestinian or Palestine, and they think it's Pakistan because it's similar or something.
Most who's been asking me, where are you from? And I say, Palestine. They say, and then I say, do you know it? He say, yes, I know Pakistan.
When someone came here, I asked them, how do you know about Palestine? It seems to me that no one in the world know about it.
This is controlled by Jordan. I said, what?
But it's nice that they are supporting you.
Moi, je trouve Project Hope comme une place pour pratiquer la langue, pour moi, pour améliorer mon niveau en français et pour rencontrer les gens, les internationaux surtout, faire des échanges avec les Palestiniens et les internationaux.
One of the main objectives of Project Hope is to have interaction between local and international volunteers. So we have a huge number of international volunteers coming, but you know, at any given moment we have more than 10 to 15 international volunteers living here in Nablus. We have a large number of local volunteers, so the interaction is important. They get to know each other. In each activity we send the local volunteer with the international volunteer to the activity, so as to perform the activity together, to have a real interaction, to learn from each other. And we think that the human connection and the human interaction is the most important thing.
A good relationship, I think so. So the international teach us the English and we teach them the Arabic language.
When it comes down to it, the English language is an incredible benefit to anyone who's working here. The unemployment rate is sky high, and everything that people have that's going to help them makes a difference, and it can be their passport to literally their passport to studying in universities around the world. It can be their passport to employment here, and it can just allow them a degree of integration with the rest of the world that wouldn't be possible otherwise.
The distorted view of what's going on in Israel-Palestine that's occurring in English-speaking countries is very unfortunate, but having access to the language, I think, gives Palestinians the opportunity to try and fix that distorted view.
Palestinian people in general are so resilient. They rebuild their physical infrastructure, they rebuild the social infrastructure, and what you see today in Nablus is a city full of life, full of activity. You know, where once the streets were empty at sundown because everyone was going home afraid of the invasions, people are now out until 12 o'clock at night shopping in the streets. So it's really a wonderful time right now. But there's still an occupation, and people are still very concerned about the future, and they're still very concerned about building their society. So that's why we need all the international support we can get. Not to come here and do things for the Palestinians, but to come here and stand beside them and empower them to help build their own future.
Palestinians have been the nicest people I've ever met. They've been so hospitable and so kind and so generous and so welcoming and so accepting of us and what we're doing. It's been fantastic.
Everyone here is helping you, inviting you for a cup of tea. If you're lost, they'll walk with you to your building, or they'll offer you food and for you to come into their home.
We often joke about the Nablus kidnapping, which is not as bad as you think. It's when someone takes you to their home and feeds you tea and coffee and all the sweets you could possibly eat. So we're always held hostage by hospitality here in Nablus.
I don't feel like I'm a visitor here anymore. I kind of feel like I've been made so welcome. This is a kind of home for me.
We heard from people when we said, well, this is what we want to do, this is where we're going, and their first reaction was, oh, it's too dangerous, you shouldn't go there. Well, it's not too dangerous.
The only danger are actually the cars.
I think everyone has such an idea that Palestinians are so aggressive, or that there's so much hostility here, and really when you come here, especially here in Nablus, it's just, you know, beautiful people, and they struggle and they've gone through so much, and you can see how their lives are affected, and to be here with them and helping them it's an honor. The people I work with are just amazing. All the volunteers come here with such good intentions and from different backgrounds. It feels like a family here. After 3 days we were already cooking together and hanging out together, helping each other with lesson planning, and that's been really helpful because not everyone has tons of teaching experience when they come here, so that supportive environment is really important. And anytime I've had an issue, I've been able to talk to the staff about it or talk to the other volunteers. You don't feel alone here. You always have support, and there's always something to do. We will go out for dinner, we'll go out to the cafes, we'll meet with locals and get to know them a little bit. We cook dinner a lot together, even have some movie nights. There's always some documentary being shown at Project Hope or some speakers.
I've been able to visit Hebron and Jerusalem and Bethlehem and Jenin and Galilee, and we even went to Egypt for a week. I feel like it's been a great opportunity, and the people at Project Hope say that you don't stop volunteering.
Only half of the volunteer experience is here in Palestine. You know, half is here doing the classes, doing the activities, engaging with people in the community here. But the other half, the really important part of volunteering in Palestine, begins when volunteers get home. That's when they go out and do speaking, do advocacy for Palestine, and go and try to change people's opinions.
It's very important for people to come here and see what's really going on, to experience the occupation firsthand, and to go back to their countries and tell people what's going on.
We're looking for volunteers who have unique skills, who can come and support the activities that are going on here, who want to learn something about Palestine, who have maybe an idea of the situation, but want to see things with their own eyes.
It's possible to come throughout the year, so at any moment people can contact us and come as volunteers. Of course, for at least 1 month, you know, between one and 3 months in general.
So if you're sitting thinking, well, maybe, but that's a long way to go, and it's a big commitment, and I don't know if I'll be any good at it, don't worry about those things, because throwing yourself in is really the best way to do it.
I think it will be a good opportunity to come, to know you, to know us.
It's definitely something that you'll regret if you decide not to do.
You will make a difference in a lot of people's lives, but the most, I think, important difference is it will change your life. For the better, of course.
I'm just so happy to be here, and I know that I'm a different person from being here, and I wouldn't trade this experience for anything.